Are you ready to finish this, bitch?
I think the Buffy revival might already be in trouble. And not for the reason most people think, because in Hollywood, silence is never neutral. And right now, the silence around the Buffy revival is screaming loudly.
Welcome to Sunnydale.
If you clicked on this video,
what you're after.
Boom! Buffy bot. So a few days ago, I saw a post asking something a lot of us have been quietly wondering. Why haven't we heard anything about the Buffy revival since the pilot wrapped? No casting updates, no pickup announcement, no yes, no no.
I don't understand how this all happens, how we go through this.
And here's the question that's starting to make fans nervous. If they don't announce something soon, is a 2026 release date even still realistic?
Let me answer that question with a headbutt.
Hold on to that, because the answer is not as simple as you might think. Also, shout out to our first patron. There's a link in the description. This one's for you, Robbie.
You want to be a member of the Scooby Gang, you gotta be willing to be inconvenienced every now and then.
First, let's clear up the biggest misconception. A pilot wrapping does not mean the show is happening. A pilot is a test, a proof of concept, a very expensive question mark. After filming wraps, the pilot goes into editing, studio notes, internal screenings, executive discussions, and that process can take months, especially for something as high profile and risky as Buffy. This isn't a low-stakes revival. This is a legacy show with a fan base that will absolutely let the internet know how they feel.
You suck!
Studios don't rush decisions like that. They slow way down. Second, to many fans, Buffy isn't just a show, it's a cultural minefield. Buffy isn't just intellectual property. It's generational, it's emotional, and it's personal. Every choice matters. Tone, casting, how connected is it to the original show, how much it changes versus how much it dares to change. And here's the part studios are terrified of. If they announce the wrong thing too early, that backlash becomes the story forever. So sometimes saying nothing feels safer than saying the wrong thing, although we really want to know.
You're gonna tell us what we need to know, and you're gonna tell us right now.
Anya, no!
Then we have number 3, the part that nobody wants to say out loud. Let's be honest for a second. There's a version of this where the pilot technically works, but not enough. Not bad enough to kill immediately, not good enough to confidently bet the Buffy legacy on.
Because it's wrong. Because it's wrong.
That's the most dangerous place a project can be, because it creates hesitation. And hesitation creates the silence that we have right now. Number 4, Hollywood is still acting a bit weird. Even though the strikes are over, the industry hasn't snapped back to what it used to be. Studios are greenlighting fewer shows, ordering shorter seasons, and sitting on finished pilots longer than ever before. They're asking questions like, is this worth the cost? Is it worth the backlash? Does this fit where our brand is going? And Buffy, that's not a quiet release. That's a headline. That's a cultural war, and that's a risk. Then number 5, the silence might be a test. Another real possibility, they're watching us. Our Reddit threads, our speculation posts, YouTube videos exactly like this one, because fan reaction matters more than studios will ever admit. If the reaction is curious, cautiously optimistic, not openly hostile, that helps the show. But if the reactions feel split or tense, they may be reworking things behind the scenes. The tone, the structure, even the core concept, and that kind of retooling takes time and creates much more silence. And that personally is where I believe we're at today. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Me personally, again, I think because there's been so much speculation, so much talk online, that they're trying to rework some things. And personally, I don't mind that, so that when something is announced, it's announced properly.
Buffy, Slayer of the Vampires.
So, is a 2026 release still possible? Short answer, yes, with a but. That window is definitely closing fast. If there's an official pickup within the next coming weeks, then I think a late 2026 release is still possible, but any further out than that, and I think 2026 begins to slip away. At that point, the options become a 2027 release, a major retool of the idea, or just quietly shelving the project, although I have faith Sarah Michelle Gellar wouldn't allow that to happen. Personally, I believe if we don't hear something soon, it's because the original idea received too much backlash and that they're reworking it now.
And after the last 3 years of us really sort of brainstorming and figuring out what it'll be, we're moving forward this summer.
And last, no news isn't bad news, but it isn't good news either. If the project were completely dead, we'd probably know by now. Those decisions tend to leak fast, but silence doesn't mean everything is fine. It means the show is in a fragile stage where decisions are still being made that will determine what the revival even is. And that's why the quiet feels so heavy. So Buffy has always been about waiting, uncertainty, and us sitting on the edges of our seats. So I want to know what you think. If this revival fails, what do you think kills it? Fear of the fans or fear of changing Buffy at all? And if it does happen, what is the one thing it absolutely has to get right? Let me know in the comments, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Also, remember to hit like and subscribe, and if you enjoyed this video, check out these other awesome Buffy videos on screen now.
I may be dead, but I'm still pretty.
Need a hand?
No thanks. I'm good.
Slayer's a robot. Did everybody else know the Slayer was a robot?